My name is Bruce Davis, Bruce Davis, and I operate this child care center, Kid Appeal Learning Center, which I founded in 2000, well actually in 1997, but we moved in this building in 2002.
What inspired you to run for District 60C, and what makes you the best person to represent this community in Raleigh?
Well, what inspired me was when Cecil Brockman got in trouble, there was a calling for leaders in High Point. And so I felt like it was calling me to serve again. And I have served many years, but I took a hiatus and I took care of my family, my business, and other things, and now I'm back.
Alrighty. And what are the top 3 priorities you focused on in your first 100 days if elected?
My top priorities always will be education, because exactly that's what I've been doing, education. And secondly is the economy, or growing other jobs, you know, seeing what we can do to collaborate with other businesses and other people. And let's see, let's see, I guess that's about it. That's my top 2. Right. My third one would probably be whatever's important to the constituents. And so without saying that I would make up something and go, I have to talk to the constituents and see what's important to them.
And you know, the third question going into that, what do you think is the biggest issue facing residents in District 60 right now, and what's one step you take to address it?
I think jobs. And so education would be a priority, of course, the community colleges. And so I think jobs is the biggest thing. Mm-hmm.
And how will you ensure transparency and accessibility for your constituents if you do get elected on November 15th?
Well, I would plan to have a meeting, a District 60 meeting, at least once a quarter, to see what's on everybody's mind. And, you know, if these meetings doesn't bear fruit, I would stretch them out maybe twice a year, but at least once a quarter right now.
Going into that, with former Representative Cecil Brockman resigning after facing criminal charges, many voters have expressed concerns about trust and stability in local leadership. So how would you work to restore confidence in the office and reassure residents who feel disappointed or uncertain about their representation?
Okay, well, it's a shame that we have to go through this, but it is here right now. Being a veteran, a Marine veteran, doing the things that I've done all along, I think this would restore that trust just by being, you know, open and honest about everything. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your campaign emphasizes education for all.
Mm-hmm.
In your experience running an early childhood learning center, how would you transform from early childhood and K-12 education in District 60? And what metrics would you use to measure that growth?
Well, I think the schools already have a metric to monitor that. And I would see basically what are they doing to monitor that growth. And but myself, transferring a child care to other or higher educations, I wouldn't transfer it. It all works together, and it's a continuum of education. And so I'd make sure that, just making sure that Kid Appeal is always on track, and I'd talk to schools and find out where they are. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that, you know, when someone came to Kid Appeal a couple of months ago and talked about, you know, that child care and making sure that families can afford that child care. Is that something that you care about as someone that runs a early education location?
Yes, it is something that I care about, the cost of child care. Child care is in a crisis right now, And even though we have 120 students, it's still very difficult to do what we do on the reimbursement. And there's many kids out there that don't get a chance to go to child care. That's where a problem is. We probably need to discuss universal child care, because every child should be in a school and should be somewhere in the education, not sitting at home. And so that's what I'd look at.
How do you think your past experience as being in office helps you to transition into a position of power again?
Well, because I was a commissioner, I was a chairman of the board, I know a lot of things how things work together. And so I think as being a commissioner, I'd be able to hit the ground running with finding out. I do have to find out what is our priorities in Raleigh, and work with the legislators that are already in position. And so it's mainly just doing what I've always done. To me, it's nothing new. It's just doing the same thing that I've learned to do. And I do have to get back into it because I have been out a little bit. But I don't see it as a problem at all.
I was going to speak on that. For some people it may be one of those things where, he's been gone. So how does he know what the public needs, or how would he be able to get back into that position because he's been on that hiatus? What would be your response to those people?
Well, some things you never lose. I would be able to adjust real quick because of I guess just who I am. I'm used to challenges. I don't shy away from the hard stuff, and it would be, it would be a good thing for me to get back into it. I never really left politics. I've been keeping up with a lot of politics, but mainly on a different level, and so I would be able to adjust to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and economic development is also something that is major for your platform. Which industries or sectors have the most growth potential locally here in Guilford County, but in High Point, and what actions would you take at the state level to support that growth?
Well, aviation is a really big boom right now. It is. And I would be in touch with GTCC. I'd be in touch with Purolator, in touch with Honda Jet, and others to make sure that those jobs are being, taken by people in High Point and Guilford County and all around. And first, I guess, like I said, I got to find out what's important to the people, and that's what I would be focusing on.
Do you think that, obviously this is a special election, if you do not get nominated for the seat, would you run when the time comes in 2026?
I've already got my signs. I'm ready to place my signs out, win or lose. I have a website, and so I'm planning to be in this, throughout the whole time. And so if I don't get elected, I will be running. If I do get elected, I will be running, either way.
Yeah, as a former county commissioner and the chair, what is a policy or something that you have that you think has had a long-term effect on the Guilford County area?
There's been so many. Let's see, just incentivizing Honda Jet for one, and being a part of those conversations where Honda Jet was kind of just looking at Guilford County. And so that's something that is stuck around and still around. The Carolina Field of Honor. I don't know if you're familiar with the Carolina Field of Honor, but we bought that, and that has impacted veterans throughout this area, of course, but all over. And so those are some of the things that I've been involved with.
Your campaign mentions equal rights and reducing inequalities. What specific legislative initiative would you champion to address inequality in housing and employment or education in District 60?
Well, we have to take the whole thing into consideration. That's you mentioned a lot of things: housing, inequality. Inequality in any means, in any area is not fair. People need to have equal rights to do anything, rights to do whatever they'd like to do. And so specific policies, I would not want to get in specific policies until I have communications with the leadership in Raleigh, and so that I might be thinking a different way, but I would love to hear what they're thinking and come together collaboratively, make things work. Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that specifically here in High Point, which is a big area of what District
Mm-hmm.
60 is,
Mm-hmm.
transit, having more done in South Main Street,
Mm-hmm.
affordability, housing. How do you plan to bring more to those areas as an elected official?
Well, it takes money, first of all. So I would make sure that we're at the table when it comes to financing different things. A trans system, whatever it is, it takes money to do that. You can talk all you want to, but until you get the budget, get it placed in the budget, it's not going to happen. And so I must be there to talk about the budget and what the needs are in High Point. Mm-hmm.
Why should they call in favor of you?
Well, because I have the experience. And I don't think any of the other candidates have the experience that I have. And so, and I'm passionate about this city, about the job. And so you get somebody who's really concerned and about what happens in this community.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask you that you think is important for people who will be watching this to know about you?
Again, like I said, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, 20 years in the military. I started this business, and it's been operating for 28 years, more than 28 years. I've been involved with Honda Jet, Purolator, a number of businesses that are in this area. The list goes on and on and on. So I have the experience, and that's what I think is very important, that we send somebody to Raleigh who has the experience and who has always worked for High Point. Everything I've done from the ballpark, that was hatched out of a committee that I was on. And I went around and spoke to all the leaders. High Point University, spoke at the String and Splinter Club about this ballpark. And here it is, it's here now. So you have someone here who can, champion things for High Point without being compromised to where you are doing the bidding or the voting for other people for no reason except for to get the money. I'm not one of those persons. Okay, I will be for High Point.